Let me clear my throat. Hey. Yes, that's daddy. It's okay, baby girl. Alright. You're gonna get up in here. You know what? I keep forgetting to put the oh man, I forget to keep putting the title up in here. Anyway, this is titled Why is My Ex Still Stalking Me? And I know a lot of y'all gonna be able to relate to it, but let me just do something real quick. Alright. Y'all gonna have to bear with me while I do my little half-ass setup. Alright. No, I don't want Instagram. I don't want Pinterest. Let's go to StreamYard. And let's check out with YouTube, because I messed up just last night. I didn't even push record on it. So we're gonna make sure we push record on this. Give everybody a little time to get up in here before we get this started. It's gonna be a quick one. If it's good enough, it'll be a long one. Alright, so we're going to title real quick. I can fix this later. I just want to get it started. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. Excuse me. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. All right, let's go. How do we do this? All right. Let's go back out. Go back in. Bear with me. Alright, so add to stream. Do we want to stop cam? Alright, so we're going to do that for the YouTube, the StreamYard. Alright, let's get a couple more people up in here before we get started. Why is my ex stalking me? Alright, let's go in here. I love 5G internet, man. I can't lie to you. I love 5G internet. Okay. We don't have time for that. So let's go live. I got my baby girl crawling around in here. Whatever. Alright, we want to get this over real quick. I'm not talking to you, little girl. Alright. Check 1 2. This is the Marrying African show. Marrying Africa. Not Marrying Africa, but Marrying Africa show. This is your host, Stephen D. Lyles, with you. And tonight, we're going to talk about a situation that we spoke about. I'm up here trying to get things ready while I'm still in the midst of doing things. So we're going to talk about something that we discussed a couple weeks ago, but there's something else that went on about this. You see, Ime Oduka, the Boston Celtics head coach, who's Nigerian, by the way, here in the U.S., who coached the NBA basketball team, Boston Celtics, got in trouble, as we know, with as he was married to Nia Long, one of the hottest, so-called one of the hottest actresses in Hollywood, Black American. I believe they have a son, if I'm not mistaken, and she has previous child, 1 or 2. So, with that said, Ime Oduka, being with this girl for 12, 13 years, and there's a lot of evidence that a lot of other things was going on with this guy, but he got himself caught up and suspended indefinitely from the Boston Celtics because it comes out that this man, this Nigerian basketball coach for the U.S. basketball team, and they made it to the NBA championship in his first year I don't think that has ever been done. So it shows that the man is special. He's a special type of coach. To get your team to the NBA championship game in your first year, that is special. But unfortunately, he got caught up. And why do I say that? Well, as we all know, the suspension is because not only did he have an affair with the white chick that everybody found out about, who was also married to a guy with 2 kids, but her husband happened to be part owner of the team itself. That's a big deal. But not only that, it comes out that after she broke it off, while he's married and she's married, while he broke it off, he still began to stalk her. Now, mind you, this guy's an NBA head coach, married to a Hollywood actress, have everything that most people think is successful. Yet, he deals with someone on a class way beneath him as far as the females involved. And she breaks it off with him, and he begins to stalk her, not wanting to end the relationship, wanting to continue on the affair. And now we have one of our brothers, Matt Barnes, as a lot of people know, because y'all know him from this podcast that they got going on with him and, oh my goodness, can't believe I forget his name. Anyway, so they got their successful podcast. Now it comes out today that Matt Barnes is being exposed for chasing after and stalking his ex. Now, this is an ex-basketball player also who has a successful podcast, one of the top podcasts in America right now. His ex, who they have a child together, has remarried, moved on with life years ago. And now it's being put out that there are restraining orders being put out because he is obsessing about her and stalking her. So it's not all about the money that a man has. Let me do this off camera. Give me 1 second. So it's not always about the money that matters. It's about the personality. But let me share a quick thing with you. When I think about stalking, let me not share it with you. No, on a serious tip though. So I could say a lot, I could say little, but I think everyone in this world, all you on IG watching right now, if y'all have been the victim of a stalker, or maybe you were the ones doing the stalking, give me a wave, give me a heart right now. Give me a heart. What are you doing? What are you doing? You want some tissue? All right, I gotta wipe her nose. So some have been stalkers, some have not been. Some have been stalked. Why do people find it hard to move on from their ex when their ex have moved on to another? What is the psychology in this? Well, I believe the first and most prominent issue is confidence. Because when a person is confident that they could do better than what they did, they're happy to move on. They look forward to being more productive than what they were prior to their previous engagement. And they look forward to being able to do better. But those who lack substance, those who lack the ability to build, the ability to dig within themselves, to pull out and do courageous things. You see, I think the reason that I'm not going to say I'm going to say the reason that some people may not suffer from that is because all right, let me put it best this way. People who are outgoing are more likely not to turn into stalkers. Those people who are not outgoing, who are homebodies, who are closed off, are, oh my goodness, you just pulled my microphone out. You are making it hard every day. You know that? Oh. Illy. Stop. You're making me look like a fool every time you come around here. Stop. So, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. We back on. No, we're not back on. Let me unmute this. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Okay, now we're back. Sorry, that was the baby girl. Anyway, listen. We have to discuss this for a little bit. We really do. We got to know what you ladies think about when you're being stalked by your ex. And are you tempted to go back? Because I'm tempted to put her back right now. Are you tempted to go back? And for you guys, what purpose do you find in stalking your ex? What do you think you're going to get from it? See, this is the thing that I want to explain. The more you desire a person, the more they don't desire you. Let me say that again. The more you desire a person, the less they will desire you. Why is that? It's the way human nature works. It has always been. That's why there's no such thing as equal love. Equal love doesn't exist. One party will always love the other more than the other. But here's the presser. When the female loves the male more so, things tend to have the ability and capability to work out. But when the man loves the woman more than the woman loves him, that female in time gets to a point that she doesn't respect that man as much. You see, females want to be chased. It's like a chase. Females want to be chased, but they don't want to be bowed down to. It's two different things. To bow down to a female means that you give any and everything, and you succumb to all their desires, and you give all of yourself to them. It's not the way things was meant to be. To chase a female is to do all that's necessary in order to make her yours. And that falls under the constitution of marriage, to make her yours. And I'm not saying that once you make her yours, then you stop doing the things that you were doing. No, not at all. Because we get a lot of ladies these days, and that's why they fell at marriage, because they don't do the same. I can't tell you how many times that I've been in relationships where a female would do any and everything in order to hold your attention, in order to choose her from others. But the minute you get into a long-term or dedicated or marital relationship, a lot of those things go away. So, contrary to a lot of beliefs, when people get in relationships, the majority of times it's the woman that begins to move backwards in the things that she did in the beginning. Most men are not that way. Most men are even kill. Like I always say, men are very simple. Men are even kill creatures. Most men, we don't get extremely high, we don't get extremely low. We always remain around that middle. Always around that middle emotionally. So, are stalkers always men? Not at all. We understand that we have a lot of female stalkers out here as well. I've dealt with it. I'm sure some of you guys listening today has dealt with it. But what makes a stalker? That's what I want to know. What makes a person into a stalker? Once again, it is not love. It's love, lust, and infatuation, and the inability to summon that confidence that's needed in order to move forward. Because once you understand that life is short and there's many chapters to life, then you begin to understand that not everybody's made to be forever. when we get to a point that we live in a world that it's not like the olden days, we get to understand that there's chapters to this book. There are chapters that will be closed and there are chapters that will remain open. Some chapters that remain open doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to be with that person for the rest of your life, but it can mean that that person will be in your life for the rest of your life, if you get what I'm saying. But when you turn into a stalker, you cut all that off. I've never seen a situation in my life where whether female or male became a stalker of their ex and their ex came back to them. I've never seen it. Because when you become a stalker, when you obsess about someone, normally they're drawn away from you. You're stalking, you're doing all these devious things, you're doing all these cynical schemes in order to get this person to fall for you, but at the same time, you're doing what you're doing for the person to fall for you, but yet alone, the only thing that's doing is pushing that person further away. And one thing you got to understand about females, when a female is done, almost always 99% of the time, they're completely done with you for the rest of your life. See, we men think a little differently. We understand reconciliation. We're not going to get into the mindset of females and males considering that. We're going to get into a discussion that, male and female, we think differently. With a male stalker, it's like, it's no chance of that female ever being with that man. But when a female is a stalker with a man, that man is going to have down days. He's going to have days that he ain't doing so well in a single life. And he might want to call upon, that one-time stalker. And sometimes when men are in committed relationships, they know that they have that on the back burner any and every day. So when it comes to female and male stalkers, they're very, very different. Let me see this. I know I'm going to kick somebody's ass in a minute, and they don't even know, but let me do this. Okay. Hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to... All right. There we go. So, what do you guys think? All right, here we go. You ready? You ready? I'm about to start singing Dreams of Nightmares up in here. I remember times I used to rhyme like this, rhyme like that, for ground like this, to get like that. Nah, I ain't gonna do that to y'all. All right, all right, all right. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2.
Hello.
Hello. Say hello again.
Hello.
There you go. What's up, Mary? Mary, why you bugging?
Nothing.
Oh, for the guys who don't know and the ladies who don't know, this is Mary from Nigeria. Um, he was a really good guest several months ago. We had some fun though. So let's see what we get out of this. So, have you heard the discussion so far?
Yes, I was following for a bit
So, have you been a stalker?
until I. No. Yes, maybe. No, not
So
really.
that's a yes.
Technically.
So that's a yes. So who was you stalking and why? Let's get the details.
Basically, just celebrity. It wasn't stalking. I won't call it stalking. It's just following. Basically, I didn't do anything extra. Just follow, like pictures, make comments.
That's
That's all.
called online stalking.
Mhm.
And was this an ex-boyfriend?
No.
So somebody that you never even been with.
Yeah.
Somebody that you met before.
No.
So you're stalking somebody online who you have not met before.
That's probably a ghost. Yes.
You do understand that that's a little weird, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that is not normal.
A little.
Nah, I'm saying a little to be gentle, to be nice, but that is not normal whatsoever. What made you stalk? What made you online stalk this individual?
Well, I basically just thought the person looked nice. That's all.
Okay, I find girls that look nice all day, every day. I don't go stalking them.
That was a long time ago too. So
What's a long time ago? Last week?
no, like no, like 8 years
Like,
ago.
how old are you, Mary?
22.
So 8 years, you were 14 years old. So at
Yes.
14 years old, you began your online stalking.
And it ended pretty fast as well.
So how many have you stalked since then?
Not just one. Okay, just one person.
So how many have you stalked in person?
None. It's creepy.
You sure about that?
Yes. None.
Didn't you? Ain't you the one you said you had like four or five boyfriends?
I know. Yes, yes.
So after you broke up with each one, it was just that it ended and nothing more.
That's it. Probably I can get someone better or I can do better. I should do better. Something like
Well,
that.
have you done better?
And a lot of it. No.
Well,
No.
that says a lot right there. Have you ever been stalked?
No. No.
No.
Not that I know of. No.
Well, then, if you've never been stalked from five plus whatever boyfriends after breakup, then that might be also telling you something. Because men normally stalk after a breakup when they don't feel that they can do any better. When men feel they could do better, there's no need to stalk an individual. They want to be done and gone, done and away with it and move forward. Would you agree?
Yes. And that's what I'll do, so yes.
So evidently, there's something about you that men don't find valuable. What is that?
Did you ask if I've met any actual man before? Most of them are I call it practice, but it's just like finding out more, learning every day. So I don't know. It's still practice game for now.
Practicing.
Trying to yes, more
So,
like
so you're
practicing.
using the men to practice for later on in life.
Maybe
Oh man,
work on my
this got disaster written all over it. This got disaster written all over it. So how many more men is it going to take for us to practice?
I'm done for now. I'm not practicing.
So you feel
Not
you
anymore
practice
at
enough?
least. Yeah, I
And out of
think
that
so.
practice, what have you learned?
I need to be more patient. It's hard to be patient.
Why? Because you're burning between your legs?
No, not that kind of patient, like the kind of anger patient.
Oh, that type of patient. Oh, so you got an attitude on you.
A lot.
And you deal with Nigerian men? And you're still alive?
Yeah.
Wow. You made it through the House of Horrors.
I tried. I tried.
Your last relationship, what went wrong?
Nothing. I just felt it was one
Don't
sided
say
at the end of the
nothing, because
day.
if nothing went wrong, then y'all two be together.
It felt one sided at the end of the
And
day.
who on whose side?
Like it was both sides, I think. Because
You just said it
at
felt
some
one
point,
sided, and you said on both sides. That makes absolutely no sense. That's contradictory.
No, calm down. It
Oh,
was one
oh, oh,
sided.
oh, 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 oh. Don't ever tell me to calm down.
Sorry. Fine, I'm sorry. But it just felt like he wasn't interested anymore. And then I was like, there was no point. Just let it go.
All right, how long did it last?
A year.
You got it on the first day? How long did it take?
6. Probably it wasn't
6 months.
6 months.
Oh, shit. I
Yes.
already made a month. After 6 months, I'm already on to the next. And whenever you follow through, you just follow through. And I'm just going to do that for GP because I put so much effort into it prior to that. That's how I feel.
Okay.
Listen, each person that I married, I had on the first day. So, it's differences to that though. But a lot of females, and I'm not saying be with somebody on the first day. I'm not saying that. I do not even promote that. I actually promote the opposite. But I'm just saying it just so happens the way that men think. Like I had when I met one of my wives, I was dealing with her and someone else. My wife, I had it in the first week. The other one made me wait like 6 months. I was kind of angry at that. I ain't even gonna lie. She made me wait like 6 months. So by the time I was already dealing with, like I said, we wasn't married at the time, but I was already dealing with the both. By the time those 6 months came and went, and I finally got it, after that, it felt like a conquest. But I was so angry at having to wait that I just treated her worse afterwards. This is how you think when you're young. And I'm not saying the me now. I'm not saying the adult version of me, but the young version of me. That's how I thought. So the more a girl would make me wait, the worse I would treat her. But when you're young, you think backwards. We men, we boys, whatever you want to call it, we think totally backwards when we're young. It's not until we reach a certain age that we can see things through the right way. That's why I always say that. It's very important that if you're really looking, you see this? You see this? You see this? You can imagine when she's ready to get married the way that I'm going to be. You can imagine. But all right, getting back to what you was talking about. You've never been stalked, but you have done the stalking. You've done the stalking online. I hate to imagine. Was it a
Yes.
Nigerian?
Yeah. Yes. Actually,
Was he
yes.
famous or just a regular Joe?
Yeah, he was famous.
He was famous?
Yeah, I wasn't the only one. Yes.
Okay, so this is your 14-year-old celebrity crush or whatever. Okay, I could deal with that. I had a celebrity crush. My celebrity crush was Aaliyah, for God's sake. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then a little while longer, Alicia Keys. So, no. But now I look at Alicia Keys a day. I'm like, oh, fuck no. But but anyway, but listen. When was the last time you was intimate with the last person you was with? Was your last boyfriend or someone else?
Someone else.
All right. So no, not a boyfriend. Was it yesterday?
No.
Last week? Last
No.
month?
Yes.
All right. So, I wish you was on. I wish you was on yesterday's show. You know what we talked about yesterday? We
No.
talked about daddy issues. Why females have daddy issues and what do that
Yeah.
lead to and how do that affect their body count. You have your dad, right?
Yes, I do.
Stepdad, biological, which one?
Biological.
All right. And he's still married to your mother, right?
Nope.
So you grew up with your mother, not your father.
Yes.
All right. So once more, I'm going to show why I'm undefeated. And all of my, watch, seriously, watch. See, yesterday, we're just going to do a throwback to yesterday. Yesterday, I said that what affects a female body count is this, is two things. The father is absent, meaning that the father is either not there or there's a stepfather in the household. When the father doesn't grow up inside of the home with the mother, females always tend to have a high body count because they look to men to get that fatherly love and that fatherly leadership that they didn't get from their fathers. So they turn out to be one of two things, depending on how the mother raised them or don't raise them. When the mother raised them to be just like her, they tend to grow up hating men. They would sleep with men, but they grew up to hate men. The other one is when the mother doesn't attend to the thinking of the female, they grow up to give themselves over freely to men because they understand that there's something missing within them in their soul that could only be filled by having that fatherly love by being raised by a father. You agree or disagree?
Disagree?
All right, tell me why.
Like I said before. Like I said before, most of my body counts were practices. Like either anxiety or just eager to know what it felt like.
Well, you knew what it
Nothing
felt like
more.
from day one, so that can't be used as an excuse. Anxiety, we all face anxiety.
No,
That's the world. We're all stressed out. Okay, if I say body count, my body count is around, I would say between 5 and 550.
okay.
So I'm halfway to 1,000 already. But I'm a man, so it's different for me. So your body count would be what?
3 to 7.
7? 70 or 7?
Mm-hmm. 7.
So if you say 7, that means 14.
Mm. Okay.
Whatever a woman,
Can you reduce
whatever
them?
number a woman gives you, you always have to double it.
Fine. The 2 then.
So that's what it is. But you say you disagree, but the very thing that I discuss and the reason why these things happen with our younger females, and this goes for anybody, I don't care where you're from, what background, what color, what race, what religion, I don't care any of that. It's always the same outcome. When the father is not present at home, the body count of a female is always going to be generally higher than if the father, the biological father, was home. And then one key to that I spoke about, hey, I'm going to knock you out. Mama said, knock you out. Mama said, knock you out. Look how she's looking at me. So one of the reasons for that is generally when a daughter is brought up under a father's love, she has this desire to please her father at all costs. That's why you would see females like that only marry men who are like their fathers or who their father approve of. A lot of them will become daddy's girl that everything that they look to everything the way their daddy sees it. So with that, those type of females generally don't go out and give themselves freely over because of anxiety or wanting to know how it feels. It may happen once, but you won't find it happen 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever times. You generally don't find that when a father is present in a house. You just don't. But what I say is, I tell, like my sons, any sons that I have, whether I have a son, another son next year, whatever, this year, however it may be, I say one or two things. Don't ever marry a female who didn't grow up with the mom and dad. And either in the house or the dad, at the very least, the father has to be present in her life from day one and never been out of her life. A father is the most important thing to the way that a boy grew up and to a way that a girl grew up. This is how important men are. A lot of you females degrade us as men. Y'all think that we ain't as worthy or we don't have the value that God says we have, but we do. And the world is showing any and everything. You can look at the world today. Society itself is falling apart. Relationship, marriages, all that is falling apart because men are no longer the foundation. Look at what you said. You follow somebody on social media because you like the way that they look. Now, in this day and time, that is the norm, that people choose people according to their looks. Looks don't provide, looks don't protect, and they don't lead. They can't do anything. Looks don't make you anything. It's nothing but something that's on the outside that will eventually fade. Just like if a man wanted you because of your looks, by the time you're 35, 40, you're not going to be as tempting to him as you once were. You get me?
Yes.
So by the time you're 35, 40 years old, I'm like, damn, I had married for about 10 years and kind of used up. I got to go get me something new. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Men, we can do that. Y'all can't do that. Y'all can't turn 40 and say, hey, I'm going to get me a younger husband and we're going to live happily ever for the next 30, 40, 50 years of our lives. It doesn't happen that way. It has never and it will never. So what you need to understand, what are you going to do to better your options and better your outcome from what you've already initiated to the decisions you already initiated in your life? You would agree that the decisions you made haven't gotten you to where you want to be, right?
Yes.
And I don't know what we talked about last time. I don't know that we talked, but you know, there's some guests that come on here that I'm cool with, and there are some that I actually generally like as a person, nothing more. And you're one of those. There's something about people I like people in different categories. Like I have different categories of people in the way that I like them. And, you know, your friend who might chew you out, blah, blah, blah. That's a different category. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can really get what we're saying, but you get or whatever. But, but generally saying, I generally like you as an individual. I think you're a sweet girl. I think you mean well. I think just like most people in life, because I hear stories every day. You know, I'm a psychologist also, so I do that on the side. So I hear stories. I get people who are married, separated, divorced. I get that almost every other week in my life here in my office. So I hear a ton of stories. Most of these people, they don't just start from the beginning. They start from the start. Excuse me. They don't start from the present. They start from the beginning. And I find that a lot of the females make the same mistakes. They started off too early. They made adult decisions when they weren't yet adults, and it cost them. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
And if I was your father, I mean, I could tell, you could be told anything. Doesn't mean you're going to do it. But I say this, whether to my clients or whoever. So I give you advice. Now you could do one or two things. You could take it and run with it, or you can hear it and continue to go about life the way you've been going about. But one thing that always happens, when you don't take advice, when you don't take wisdom for those who know or been through it or seen it, you're likely to not just keep walking down that wrong path, but you're likely to suffer the consequences for the rest of your life. And nobody wants to be miserable, broken, and destitute. How old are you, Mary? You're 25?
22.
You said 22? All right, so, yeah, you said that, 22. So, at 22, you could be making decisions that are going to affect you for the rest of your life. A lot of people think, and this is how you probably think, because a lot of ladies think this, I'm going to go out and have my fun And when I'm ready, I'm going to go find Prince Charming. I'm going to be married. We're going to have kids, a beautiful house, and get a car. And we're going to live good because I had my fun when I was young. That's how a lot of young ladies think. See, the problem is this. Everything you do affects your mentality. So when women deal with man after man after man after man, your mentality is being corrupted throughout. So by the time you get to a man who would be profitable to you, he sees you as a problem, not a solution. And when men who are productive and producers and the builders see you as a problem and not a solution, it's pretty much over with. And the only thing you got is slim pickings. And them slim pickings are everyone who's laying around and hanging out around a ghetto. You get me?
Yes.
You cannot learn yourself by being with another man. If you did it the right way, you would have learned yourself while growing with a man. That's how a woman really knows herself. She grows with a man. And we talked about this before. I'm not going to harp on it, but that's why a woman is supposed to leave her father and mother house and go straight to her husband's house. She begins to learn herself and grow with her man. But when y'all do it the way y'all do it, y'all out to dry. You don't have no leadership. You're not qualified to lead yourself. You're not qualified in the least bit to lead yourself. No woman is, to be honest. You're 22. You can still make the right decisions, but it comes at a cost. You've already fed your mind that you base things off looks. If that is going to be your outlook on things and who you're going to be with next, it's never going to work. You're just going to continue to move backwards, backwards, and backwards. You get to a point that you can't move back anymore and you're just stuck there for the rest of your life. I always say three things. I can't even remember one. I know character, background. I said character, background. I can't even remember the third thing. But a person's character is the first and foremost thing that you're supposed to be concerned with. After that, it's supposed to be their background. Oh, with women, I said their womb. But with a man, it's his character and background and ability to provide. You get me? If you focus on that,
I didn't get the last.
character,
What's the third
his
thing?
character, his background meaning how he grew up. But that doesn't really count for men. That's more for women than it is for men. But with men, it's more character and ability to provide.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I feel about that. And like I said, our life journey is going to be different, even if we came out the same household. Do you have a brother?
Yes, I do.
How old is he?
19. 19.
All right, so y'all close to the same age. Y'all could come up out of the same household, no matter how y'all was raised to be the same, or by the same mother with the same identity or, faith or beliefs or whatever. His journey will be completely different from yours. His journey is likely to be easier than yours. You do understand that a man's journey in life is much easier than that of a woman in certain ways. Not always, certain ways. See, y'all life get easy when y'all find the right one. When y'all find the right one, y'all could just lay back, take care of the kids, enjoy life, enjoy the house, sit in front of the big screen, order out food when you don't feel like cooking. You know what I mean? Put the dishes in the dishwasher. You know, y'all found the easy life. But a man, he has to continue to provide for the rest of his life, no matter what. Then he has to also set it up for the future for when he's no longer here. So I just say that men and women are different in so many ways, but some ways there's pros and cons to each one. But you at 22, if you're going to stalk somebody, you better have it be your future husband. And you tell him that, hey, baby, it may seem like I'm stalking you. I just find you to be the man that, not that I desire, but the man that I need to put me on the right path to becoming a wife that would satisfy you. So you never even thought about saying no words to a man, have you?
No.
Because that's how a wife would talk. And you being raised by your mother, even as an African, you still wasn't even raised to be a wife. If your father was there, you had a better chance at already being a wife. One thing about men, when we see women who are wives, we choose them right away because we know they're not going to last on the marketplace. So when we see women who are wives, we go for it. We put all in. We'll spend a little bit of money. We'll spend 5-10 hours on the phone a day. We'll do that. We'll forego some of our responsibilities in order to purchase that off the marketplace. Because we know those type of women don't last long. When you're a wife, you get chosen immediately. You don't even make it to the age of 25. It'd be impossible for a woman to make it at the age of 25 who is bred to be a wife. It's impossible. Doesn't happen. What you need to do, you need to find a way to find your feminine ways and get rid of this damn attitude. Before I let you go, tell me what's wrong with the attitude. Why you got such a bad attitude towards men?
I don't. I just have a bad attitude generally. Like freaking out a lot, getting angry easily. Not like towards men. I have nothing against men.
Towards who then? You said you have bad relationships because of your attitude already. Right?
I think, yeah,
Where's it coming from?
anger.
What anger? From what?
Just genuinely anger. Anger from, and transfer of aggression. I do that a lot sometimes.
From what?
Transfer of aggression mostly.
But you don't know where it comes from. How about you take time to find out where the source of your anger is, and that way you could deal with that before you deal with someone else.
Okay.
You think you got something to do with your father not being there?
He calls sometimes. He came first time. He came a few times, but he wasn't really not there. Like the calls was there always. Well, not like your call like you're talking to someone. It's just how are you? Fine, eating, okay, bye bye, okay, no problem. So I don't know.
So you never had a close relationship with him?
No, none. With none of them, I had no close up relationship.
None of them. How many fathers do you have?
Yeah. What?
You mean your mother and your father?
Yes, my mom and my
So
dad.
so why haven't you had a close relationship with your mother?
I don't think she likes it.
Hmm?
I don't think she likes it.
You don't think she likes you?
She likes the close up relationship
She doesn't like close
in
relationships.
general.
We're not talking about her and a man. We're talking about her and her kids.
Yes, it's just hope you're okay, hope you've eaten, hope you've done your assignment, hope everything is okay. You need anything? No, that's all.
You know, you see how we're talking now? So now I can start to see clearly, not just the anger, but the promiscuous and the ability not to have long-term relationships throughout. You were taught it from the beginning. This is all you know. You were raised with a mother who you don't feel like you have a close relationship with. You don't have really much of a relationship with your father. Especially a female. A female's parents are the first bridge to her understanding relationships. So without having your mother, without having your father, that was pretty much doomed to fail in the beginning.
Try to live by yourself.
Yeah, I'm being serious. I'm being dead serious. That type of situation will always lead to the outcome that you've had thus far at such a young age. It's all right, right?
Yeah, it's
We
fine.
still got life, right?
Yeah, I guess.
It ain't no you guess. We have life because we still sitting here talking. Two things. As long as you live and you can still gain salvation, as long as you live and you can still make change. As long as you have breath in your life, you can still make change. Your thing would be, you would need, you would need someone close, whether it's an aunt, whether it's someone at work, whether it's someone at church or whatever. I really don't suggest church because I know how them people are. But you would need someone around you who you could build a relationship with as a mother figure, a motherly figure. I don't suggest men because you're at an age where all men would take advantage of that and it'll end up them wanting to get you in bed. So that's just how that works. But I think that your best outcome would be to find someone who's upstanding that you look up to, that you admire, and do what you can to draw close to that person. Not sweating them or anything like that, but maybe finding that person, say, hey, do you want me to run an errand for you? Or I'm available anytime that you need something, I'm free, or just little things. But you definitely need a motherly figure. A fatherly figure is more important, but you're at an age where that is not likely to happen. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you definitely need a motherly figure. And unfortunately, friends can't be that. Your friends are basically the same age as you and don't have the experience and wisdom that would be necessary to bring you up underneath them. How tall are you, Mary?
Very short.
How tall are you, Mary?
Um, I don't know. I haven't checked that, but I'm very short to be precise. Very
These
very
are
short.
things you need to know. Because when a man who's interested in you, he wants to know these things. He wants to know that you're doing, in order to show that you know how to keep yourself up, you have to know these little details, especially men who are, outside of the continent. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You're 5'1", 5'1", 5'2". That I already know, but I just want to see if you know.
How did you know that?
Don't worry about it. I don't even
Okay.
know kg to pounds. You're about 110 pounds, 105, 110 pounds, whatever that is in kg. I even tell you real quick. Let me see.
Hey.
Oh my goodness, what am I doing? I can't even see. Hold on. Okay, here it is. So that would make you about around between 45 and 47 kg.
Nah, 58
You're
kg.
58, not 47?
Mhm.
You sure about that?
I'm very sure I checked it
That would make
yesterday.
you 130 pounds. 130 pounds is for a big girl. You know that, right?
I think no, I don't know
Yeah,
that.
5'2", as short as you is, 130 pounds is pretty damn thick. And you ain't thick at all.
Hmm. You say so?
I'm not saying so. I'm telling you, I'm looking at Google. I mean, even Google lying or
Google
you
lies.
lying. So one of y'all lying.
Google
Yeah,
lies. Google
yeah,
lies.
we'll believe that one day. Maybe one day we'll believe it. I actually wish it was true because I can't even stand Google these days. But yeah, so and you said you want to be married, right?
Yes.
How old do you want to be when you get married?
Right now, if possible.
Huh?
22, 25.
Your first, you first said as soon as possible.
No, right now, if possible, was better. Like
That's the
22,
same thing,
25.
as soon as possible. Right now, so I don't know. Right now, as soon as possible or as soon as possible. I don't get why there's a difference in that.
Okay, fine. There's no difference.
All right, but that's a good answer because you're showing that you want to be under the leadership of someone else because you realize that your way hasn't been getting it done. But,
At all.
huh?
At all. It's not working. This isn't
Yeah,
working.
but you're going to need someone who understands your background and understands why you made the decisions that you've made and understand that they're going to have to work with you to learn how to build sustaining relationships. And we could do the Bible and all that, but you know, when we get in our own ways, we get out of place, we get out of the character that we should be in, and it's hard to say a few words and we just submit ourselves. It doesn't work that way. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication to do work within ourselves. So you just got to find somebody who's willing to go down that path, take you and get the counseling that you need. Because I will say this, you definitely need counseling. I would not suggest either going to a relationship without getting counseling, or if you somehow find yourself in one that is a serious relationship, that in the process of that becoming a serious relationship that you desperately find counseling. Because that is something you desperately need. I'm not even joking or smiling about that. So
Okay.
you're going to have to look into counseling more than anything. And never have it be a female. Never have it be a female. I did
Why?
many shows about that. When people go and get female counseling, psychologists, whatever it is, they do one or two things. They remain idle or they wind up worse than what they were. Because you already understand your viewpoint from a female's way of life and through eyes of a female in the first place. You understand me? You don't need that because you're not
Yes.
sitting out here seeking to marry a female. So you need to understand and have the guidance of a man in order that he could guide you and put you on the path to be what a man desires you to be. Make sense?
Yes.
So I always say,
Yes.
people who waste their time with female counselors or psychologists, you're just wasting your money and your time. There's never a good outcome from any of those things. But just if you could do it on Zoom, maybe, I don't know, social media somewhere or whatever, get yourself a counselor. I don't know what you can afford. I don't know what's what, but get yourself a private counselor. And if you meet a man that you believe is right for you, he will have no worry or no issues with paying for the counseling himself in order for you to attain. So that's when you know that you found one who is serious and is at a point or the type of man that you could put some trust in. Of a man, if you discuss what you discuss with me and you tell him, I want to be with you, but I need counseling. Now that man is willing to put up the funding for you to go and get counseling, then so be it. That man just might be the man that you need to be. But if a man looks at it like as a refusal, like, oh no, I'm not doing that, he's not really concerned with your well-being. In order to truly love somebody, you have to, just as you're concerned about your well-being, you have to also be concerned about that person's well-being. Because how that person journeys through life is going to affect you how you journey through life. Because y'all going to be doing this together. So I just hope that, you know, maybe someone watching today, they may see this and reach out to you. But like the Bible says, be as doves, but be as cautious as snakes. I mean, don't fall for every single thing that somebody tells you. And that's why I like doing these shows. I like talking about all these situations. Like even last week we talked about how a lot of females fall for a lot of things that men say. We say things that we don't mean just because we know how you're going to feel about it
Yeah.
and how it's going to break through your wall and how easy it is that we're going to be able to get in your mind. And once we get in your mind, a lot of times it's hard for y'all to get us out. So, like I said, man, I just hope that I'm on this earth to help people through many different ways, many different avenues, not just philanthropy, but, through counseling, through just doing what little I can. If you ain't here to make the world a better place, then you're a wasted breath. You know what I mean? All right. So, hopefully you come down with me and whoever when I'm there in Nigeria and we do the show. Just weeks away now. Damn, time is getting close. So oh man, I can't even believe it's almost time. But so with that said, anything else you want to say to the audience listening?
No, not really.
Mary,
No.
Mary, why you bugging? You ever heard that song? You never heard
No.
that song by Run DMC? It's like a real old school. You been before my time. You never? All right. I'm gonna send it to you in a minute. All right.
All
It's real
right.
old school. All right, Mary. Thank you for joining, man. Hopefully we get some good news for you soon. From you soon. All right.
Okay.
All right.
All
Have a good
right.
night.
Yeah, you too.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Beautiful conversation. This one knocked out, and everybody else ready to go to sleep on her. So again, that was just supposed to be a 15 to 30-minute show, but wound up being hour and a half. So like I said, man, every day we're gonna do this. Every day, 7 p.m. we're gonna do this. Whether it's 15 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, we're gonna do this because there are so many things that need to be talked about. Just like the show started off one way, it could end up to something else. But as long as what is being discussed on the show is profitable to the listener, that is what it's really all about. She's 10 months old here, sitting here snoring on my lap. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show again, tonight's show. Once again, this is Stephen D. Lyles. Gotta repeat that. Once again, this is Stephen D. Lyles for Marion Africa, aka Marion Ghana, here on IG Live. And you can also catch the replay up on YouTube, Marion Africa. So once again, love you guys for joining in. I appreciate you, appreciate all the love, appreciate all the hearts. And see you guys on Monday by the grace and the mercy of God. Because everything we do for each other, and we do it to the glory of God. So let us all be